aging was an issue for me. I felt bad about being older. And meditation is another one of my favorite parts, is that age doesn't matter anymore to me. It doesn't even occur to me that, I better not do that, I'm old. Or you become ageless. And it's a miracle.
Hello everyone, welcome to Cham Chats. Here we talk about self-discovery and finding true happiness within. My name is CJ Lee, a meditation guide at Brooklyn Meditation, and a meditator myself. Today I'm sitting down with Lynne, who has been meditating for the past 2 years. She will be sharing how she found her purpose, true peace, and foremost, freedom from her mind chatters through this meditation. Today's topic is something that has been forefront in the world and on many people's minds: women's health and aging. I hope you enjoy our stories as much as we will have fun making it.
Hello, Lynne. How are you?
Hi, CJ. I'm happy to be here.
I am happy too. So welcome to our studio, aka meditation room. This is where we meditate. And also we record our podcast. So Lynne, first thing I wanted to ask you is tell us how you came to find meditation and also Brooklyn Meditation.
Yeah, I think I've been searching for answers my whole life. And Brooklyn Meditation is actually my third type of meditation. I spent some time in a Hindu temple meditating, and then I moved to New York and I tried transcendental meditation. And neither of those resonated like the intro session at Brooklyn Meditation. That session told me that I had found my place. I had found my purpose. These are the answers I've been looking for. And that's what I found in these last 2 years. That the more I meditate and throw away my conditioning and things that I've carried in my mind, the easier life has become and better.
Wow, that's great. So when you were looking for meditation, there must be something that you were looking for through meditation, right?
Yes, and it sometimes is hard to even know what I was looking for, or at least put it into words. I spent quite a few years in an organized religion too, seeking that same thing. Probably seeking God, but none of my previous meditation or the organized religion gave me that. It talked a lot about it, but it never became real for me until I came here. The method that we practice here at Brooklyn Meditation is everything I've ever looked for. It's incredible. It's miraculous.
Yeah, I had a pretty different life, and different reasons, but I will agree it was for me personally a miracle to find this.
Exactly, it's a miracle, and it's progressive. So each time you meditate, sometimes you feel like, well, I'm not getting anywhere. My mind, I can't shut it down. But each time you meditate, it builds a little bit more. Not builds, it really subtracts more of what we've all carried in our minds that we think we need and we really don't.
Right. So when you said seeking God,
yes.
So it means different things for people. It means different things for myself as well. So when let's say you found God within, tell us and the listeners what that means day-to-day life for you.
That is such a good question. And for me, it's a little bit hard to put all that into words. But day-to-day life, I think I'd rather call God truth, because God is just so fraught with different meanings. But to find truth within means that you're becoming more real yourself, and just letting go of the falseness. I need to prove myself. I don't want to look dumb. I need to dress a certain way. I need to do these sports events that will prove that I'm really a great person. And that's all in my own mind. Nobody else knows that. And to be able to, through meditation, start letting go of that and realizing that doesn't matter is so freeing and accepting of me and accepting of others. And it makes life flow with ease. Not every single minute, but a lot more than it used to. And that just is a wonderful way to live.
Thank you for that. So when you say falseness, you mean all this mind chatter?
Yes.
Day-to-day thinking.
Yes. Where I think I need to be this way so that then the people I'm with will like me and think a lot of me. Whether that's true me or not, that's how I used to think, that I needed to be a certain way, express myself a certain way, whether it was true to me or not. That's what I felt, and that is false.
That is false. Yeah.
People, we accept each other if we can sense honesty. Authenticity is a big word that is popular right now, but there's something to that. You're being your true self. It helps other people be their own true selves, and talk about making a difference in the world.
Right.
And acceptance of one another rather than looking only at the superficial differences is what I think this meditation helps with as well.
So the acceptance coming from yourself to yourself sounds like.
Yeah. Accepting myself, and when others have a difference of opinion on anything, or even a difference of appearance, or accept them, and don't launch into judging them because they're different than me or have different ideas than me. When I am able to let go of that, it makes everything better.
So all this thinking of what I should do, what I need to do, how I should appear, all those things that I bet everyone goes through to a certain degree.
I think so.
Right. So when you become free from it, what is remaining is just real you. Is that what you're saying?
That is what I'm trying to say. Thank you. Great.
Yeah. Great. So, that really relates to my next question, is that, like right now, I guess I wanted to ask how this meditation experience has been for you as a woman navigating in this world, ever-changing, challenging world.
Absolutely.
Right? Because I think what you're talking about is what we should do, how we should look, what we should say. There's, I think, more rigid, I would say, or a lot more kind of rules and things that we're told as women than other people, I would say.
I agree with that. I think there are many rules, especially for women in relationship.
Mm-hmm.
The rules come from our culture. They come from our religious organizations. Here's how women should behave and be in relationship with others. And maybe that is your true self. And if so, then that's wonderful. But if it isn't your true self, if it doesn't allow you to be your true self, then you're not going to be able to be happy. I think the only way to be happy is when you're your true self and not living and performing according to some other outside rule.
Right. So the meditation, my experience has been that no matter what I've been told or exposed of outside, I'm the only one who could be influenced by it or not influenced by it.
Exactly.
That I have a choice, I have control.
Yes.
Right? But because I didn't know that I was living in my mind world, basically we all live in our head, in our thoughts. Physically, I guess we are in the world, but what's really driving us is how we feel inside, how we think inside. Right?
Exactly.
And that thinking and feeling is coming from not the actual world in the moment, but actually what you have captured of the world into your mind. So we call that false human mind world.
Yes.
So that before, because I didn't know it was false, it is not reality, and also because I didn't know if there was a way to actually let it go, I didn't feel like I had a choice.
And CJ, and before meditation, I thought that was the way to live. You gather the pictures or information from outside of you, and those become your rules for living.
The rules.
And and I didn't realize that wasn't reality. And so through meditation, early on, that's right away, you start learning those are all pictures. They're not real. And then meditation gives you the permission to throw them away. And early, I didn't, well, how do you live without all of that? And I just found sticking with the consistent meditation and trusting. It's like all of a sudden, there aren't all these rules. And I can figure out what is important to me. What I figured out is that meditation is the most important thing.
Taking care of our mind.
Yeah.
Right? And absolutely. So, just for those who are not familiar with this method, when we say pictures, what we mean by is our body is kind of like a camera with 5 senses. We can capture smell, taste, hearing, sound, image, and sensation with the body. And also we add interpretation, feeling. So that whole thing is what we call pictures. Throwing away means letting it go, attachment. Letting go attachment to that, me thinking that's the real world. Throwing that away.
And the thing that I was a little bit afraid right away was to throw all those things, all those pictures away. There were some good pictures in my mind too, and but we don't throw away any of our memories. All we're throwing away are the attachment to those life experiences. We're not throwing away the life experiences, having a child and really big things in your life. You're not throwing that away. You're just throwing away your attachment to it. The memory is still there.
Right. Nobody can destroy what happened because it happened.
Exactly. But to be free of the attachment, mean, I don't know what I wanted to say right then, but to be free from being attached frees you to live in reality and not in your mind.
So it brings me to the next question. So are there any specific things like how you feel or your state of your mind, how you deal with the world day to day that changed, and it kind of represents how much you've gone with this meditation?
The method has become such a part of me now. I have to think about that a little bit.
So, like, for example, we have this mind that constantly is talking, chattering, thinking. Right?
Okay, thank you. That is what I have become very aware of, the chattering mind. And what my mind, and I think everyone's mind, wants to do is, if a thought comes and then you start developing a story. I call it going down the rabbit hole, developing a story of that thought, either what's happened or what you wish would have happened, or how when you see that person again, here's what you're going to say, planning all that out, to start to be aware of those thoughts and really realize those are illusions. That is not real. So then you can stop it. And it feels to me like all of a sudden my eyes are opened. I can hear birds singing. I see the beautiful leaves on the tree and people just going about their day. And it's all of a sudden life becomes a flow with ease and beautiful. And when I'm in my chattering mind, I can do a whole walk through Prospect Park and never notice it. You get to the other side of the park and like, well, I don't know what I saw. I was in my head.
That's right. I hope that many people can relate to it. I used to do that on subway, having whole conversation with someone who's not there in my mind.
Yes.
In the subway.
And to be free of that, I think is probably one of my favorite parts of meditation. And you know what? The other thing, I think I'm taking better care of myself too, my physical body. Part of my illusion was getting to my room and eating snacks till I went to sleep. And I don't have that drive anymore. I want to take care of myself. I'm not dieting or anything like that, but just healthy food and sleeping better. And I think that comes from being able to turn off the chatter mind.
From turning off the chatter mind.
Turning off the chatter mind makes sleep better, makes everything better.
That also goes to another thing I wanted to ask you was, in this world, in the culture, we celebrate youth and innovation. Yes, sometimes very bluntly, sometimes sublime, like underlining. And somehow getting old and having seasoned experience is kind of being less valued.
Yes.
So that's one set aging, and especially for women, aging is a very different ballgame.
It is.
And also it relates to health and better health and also beauty.
Yes.
Very much related, right?
Value.
Yeah.
Because women's value is in their appearance so often.
Right.
CJ, I am so glad you asked. You brought that up, because before meditation, aging was an issue for me. I felt bad about being older, and I always made the joke my grandma lied about her age 10 years, and I thought, well, I'm going to do the same thing, and I went out on a trail backpacking, and I thought nobody's going to like me because I'm old. Now, isn't that a shame to think like that? Meditation is another one of my favorite parts, is that age doesn't matter anymore to me. It doesn't even occur to me that, oh, I better not do that, I'm old. Or you become ageless. And it's a miracle. And all the conditioning that our advertising world puts on us, the power of that has gone away.
Right, the power, yeah. I mean, this is something that actually I talk about with any women in any age, the meditators that we talk about. What kind of messages we get bombarded with, especially for women and age-related, health-related.
And size-related, color-related, everything.
Right, absolutely. And sure, we can spend our lives blaming the I don't know what you call it, marketing.
The advertising.
Advertising
world.
And what's imposed upon us. But I don't see things changing anytime soon. And I'm only going to live one time in this life with this one body. So how can we be free from it? Right?
Meditate.
Yeah, meditate. So as we all know, in any industry, images are so powerful. So that's what we do. We throw away images, pictures.
That's a great point.
Yeah, exactly.
The power of advertising is in pictures. Images, yes. Which just is such a good illustration of the power of the images that we're holding in our minds about how we are to be in this world and how we are to relate and all of that.
Right.
That was a really good point.
Yeah, and when you see, this is also because of meditation, I'm becoming more aware and enlightened about not only my mind, how my mind works, but also how everything works in this world. It really helps me to be in tune and understand the world, good and bad, and accept what's going on. And a lot of times, healthy look, image of healthy people, and it's very much related to younger youth.
Yes.
Health is so much tied to youth, size, and color, everything, right? Yeah. And it's shown as if that is completely, it's a prerequisite, required to be happy.
Yes.
So through images. They don't say you have to be thin and beautiful to be happy, but when you see people having fun on advertising, usually they are healthy, clear skin, certain size.
Yes.
So
and popular.
Yes, well liked, positive looking. So all that is, it's something that we see every day. And how can I battle with that? And when do not fit into that category, you subconsciously feel bad about your life.
You do.
The comparison.
It's very true.
So this meditation gave me such a power to be able to have control and just have my mind and emotions, my mind, how I see myself. I decide instead of being completely influenced by these images.
Yes.
So we throw away the pictures.
And I am not so drawn to those promises of beauty. I don't need to pay so much attention to those, spend so much money on things. And that's because of meditation.
Power of letting go and throw.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's great. That was a great question and great answer. So I wanted to also ask you, so if someone was to be considering meditation, especially a woman maybe with family, kids, and maybe very full-time career, and everything is against that person. There's no time, no space. What would you say to that person? What would you say so that person would be encouraged to give it a shot?
Well, one of the I think best things that came out of the pandemic is that this meditation method offers many, many online classes in addition to the in-person centers, and which gives you a lot of flexibility that you can hopefully, even I know so much is expected of women who manage a home, raise children, and probably work full time. The online, you owe it to yourself to take an hour as often as you can and meditate, and you can do that online. The guides are amazing, and I do a lot more online meditating than in person, just because it's always there, and you can count on it. And I think that is a wonderful way to make it work, even if you are a really busy schedule. But the thing is, if you start meditating, it makes that busy schedule with all the responsibilities easier.
Less burden in your mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it might feel counterintuitive to like add one more thing to a busy schedule, but it will make all the difference in everything else that a person is involved in. I think that's guaranteed.
Great, thank you for the answer. So I want to actually go back to, before we wrap up, go back to the topic of health, appearance health.
Yeah.
You mentioned with this method you're able to almost like naturally eat less junk food, consume less of everything.
Yes. Yes, when I get out my bags of chips or whatever it is, I'm eating it, and I just think I don't want to harm myself by overeating anymore, or just throwing out. I eat healthy food, and I don't want to counteract the effects of that anymore. I don't know. I used to go home after a day at work and go into my room and get out my snacks, kind of like I have to make up for playing the world's game all day. And I don't have that feeling anymore. So it's just sort of naturally falling into balance. I still like my desserts, but at least I'm not eating 10 desserts.
So, I mean, again, you and I are not really saying certain foods are good or bad.
No.
Like people should eat this that way at all, right? Just
no, find what is harmonious with your body and balance.
Right. So you mentioned a very interesting point is that for me also, I found this in my life too in general, where I found many aspects of life a little stressful and also a little dull and meaningless. Especially if I have a job that I don't like. That I actually have a habit of enduring things.
Yes.
And then at the end of the day, I gift myself or reward myself. And this is just such a thing for women, I think, especially women, that I keep like reward myself with whatever it is I like to indulge in. Whether it's
exactly
food, or for me it's like watching movies. I used to read a lot of novels and get into that fantasy world.
Yes.
And I feel I need that time.
Yes.
Because I was stressed out or I endured my life.
You've been giving all day. So now you want to give to yourself. Snacks and movies.
But then I think to myself, what is the point of living if I have to endure my life? Do you know what I mean?
Like, CJ, exactly.
So with this meditation, actually, I was able to go beyond, and my mind had this dichotomy and judging. My mind said what's boring, what's fun, what I don't like, what I like. So actually, I was able to let go of that judgment mind, so that I found every day what I used to think dull and boring, that things I don't like, just fine. So I'm able to find like joy and enjoyment in general.
And so then you
Yeah.
don't come home at night feeling sort of abused.
Right, exactly. Like I just tolerated or endured.
I got through
whatever.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that helped me not to drink much less,
Yeah.
eat junk food much less, consume TV or movie much less.
Now, the
Yeah.
other thing I just want to mention
Yeah.
along those same lines is accepting others.
Yeah.
Through meditation, I'm not tolerating or
Right.
putting up with others and then coming home and rewarding myself.
Right.
I can accept others whether they agree with my views or not. It doesn't matter. We're all here. We are representations of the universe, and find those ways where you can just accept people. You don't have to judge them. Oh, you're wrong in what you're saying there. It's like, let them have their say. It doesn't matter. And that also has made a difference in my need to reward myself at night, because funny thing is, I'm not running into that many people who aggravate me anymore. People are people, and
you find less frustration.
A lot less.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I am not performing anymore. So it's not stressful to figure out what somebody else, I think they want me to be, and then try to be that person. That is very stressful and exhausting. And now that I don't have to be that anymore, I can just be myself. I don't come home depleted.
Yeah. Completely
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah.
Exhausted. Yeah.
And who am I anyway? I've been myself all day.
So it's a really great freedom to just be yourself.
Oh my gosh, it's so easy. That's pretty.
So next, the last question I wanted to ask you is, what are 3 things that you like the most about this meditation practice? It could be just anything, big or small.
Yeah. I love everything about this practice. The freedom and the ease that I'm finding in living, and the meaning, where it's made such a difference in my relationships with everybody. To just let people be and be myself, the ease of that and the joy in relating to others is incredible. I don't know if that was 3 things or however many, but I have not had, in 2 years, I haven't had one meditation session where I went away and thought, didn't get anything out of that one. Okay. I mean, and I try to meditate every single day. The guides are just incredible, and there's always just we say the same thing, but there's always some new little way of saying it. I mean, we say the same thing because that is truth, but some little different expression. It's like, oh yeah, I had thought of that, and so every session helps you on your journey. Some are huge, where a light goes on, a big light, and then others you're just a little bit every day, but it always, the sessions bring you back to truth. Some days my mind is really unruly, and it's sort of a battle the whole time to not go down the rabbit holes and create dialogue that is false.
Right.
But even that exercise is, I think it's sort of like training for a marathon. It's a little bit every day, and it makes your mind, it's easy then to pull it back to truth.
I Every time you meditate or run, so to speak,
Yeah,
it adds up.
it does. It adds up. And then all of a sudden, it's like life is better and easier and more loving and fun.
Yeah, that's great. That was great. That is great ending, closing. Life is easy and fun.
Yes.
Yes. So I have to say that as well for myself also, when I really let go of the whole labeling idea of what is fun, what is good, all these judgments that are coming from my mind. Of course, I was influenced by what I was exposed to, but it was my mind. It was my responsibility. I'm accountable for my mind. Right? When I'm able to, with this method, let go of all that, I found everything joy and found fun in everything.
Yes.
Little bit by little bit. And life not dull anymore. This is a big, for me, very, very big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just that, and it wasn't like the burst of feeling of excitement,
No.
happiness that was, I realized it was also like my own false expectation.
Yes.
But it wasn't that. It was just like a general sense of peace and
contentment.
Yeah.
I used to come back from good vacation trips really sad and mad that I have to go back to the real world. And just like in the last year, I did a couple really cool trips, and I came back and so, are you sad to be back? And it's like, no, I'm fine to be back. I like it. It's just life, and it's a flow, and meditation helps you go with the flow.
Go with the flow. Yes. That's a great closing. So thank you, Lynne, for today's enlightening talk. And this was Cham Chat, and produced by me, Moa, CJ. And my guest was Lynne. And so I think, in my opinion, any kinds of meditation is really good. So we really encourage people to do any type of meditation.
Yes.
But this is also one type that has been pretty effective for many people.
Very practical.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you I have more than my share of pictures, images to get rid of it. So if I can do this,
anybody can do it. Yeah.
Thank you for having me today.
Thank you.
This is awesome.
This is awesome. Thank you for listening to Cham Chats. If you enjoyed the episode, please be sure to leave a review and follow us on social media. All the links are in the description. And if you are interested in trying this meditation method yourself, you can visit onlinemeditationevents.com for online classes and to be connected to a center near you. See you next time!